In this video, we're looking at newly formed tropical storm Erin, which is expected to become a hurricane, which could be potentially bring impacts to the Caribbean, Bermuda, and we can't quite rule out U.S. impacts just yet. As we get right into the video here, you can see we have tropical storm Erin, which has just formed this morning just west of the Cabo Verde Islands. We had quite a bit of flooding in the Cabo Verde Islands from tropical storm Erin, but tropical storm Erin is pretty small right now, a little spinning storm in the eastern Atlantic. We also have a couple more disturbances up here that have a very low chance of developing, and even a disturbance in the Gulf right now causing some thunderstorm activity across some of those Gulf states. And look at the National Hurricane Center, you can see we have tropical storm Erin, which currently has 45-mile-per-hour winds, a central pressure of 1,004 millibars, and it's currently moving west at 20 miles per hour. Now, since it did become a named tropical storm, that means we have a cone of uncertainty with a general expected path of this storm. It is expected to stay as a tropical storm as it moves westward here across the Atlantic before getting to around late Wednesday, when it is expected to become a Category 1 hurricane. And according to models, this will be strengthening gradually as it becomes a hurricane. Category 2 probably by Friday, and then a major hurricane, a Category 3 hurricane, is expected by Saturday morning. Now this cone is heading pretty westward, as you can see, and you can see it looks pretty concerning to the mainland of the United States. But most models do have it curving out to sea towards Bermuda as of right now. But this is definitely going to come pretty close to the Caribbean here, the Lesser Antilles, Puerto Rico. Could potentially be seeing some very outer impacts from this hurricane, so that rip current risk is going to be very high for those areas in the eastern Caribbean. But we're going to look at some other models that can show you the expected path out to sea of tropical storm Erin. And here's the latest GFS model. Here's the latest GFS model. There's tropical storm Erin currently just northwest of those Cabo Verde Islands. Moving forward throughout the week, this of course becomes a hurricane, and then shortly a major hurricane. This is about Friday, so we're nearing around where this cone of uncertainty currently ends. Obviously there it looks like a very strong major hurricane just north of those Lesser Antilles. Let's go and move forward to Sunday. You can see it's starting to move more northward on Sunday morning. Here's the Bermuda there in that pink little blob. But as we head throughout Sunday, it starts to curve northward. So this, as it curves more northward, the U.S. mainland impact chance gets lower as it moves northward, of course. But as you can see, it makes a direct impact to Bermuda, which is not good at all. This is probably a strong Category 4 hurricane at this point, according to this model. So not looking good for Bermuda at all. Then it curves out to sea and dissipates. Now here's the Icon model, which has it weaker than the GFS, but generally does have the same path, looking like a direct impact again for Bermuda, as it kind of takes that exact same path, just missing the Caribbean. And like I said, the last video we looked at the CMC model, which was actually looking a little concerning for the mainland US. So it kind of has that same path as GFS, but as you can see, we get to about Saturday, and it's not moving northward here for the CMC model. The GFS has it about right here, and the CMC has it, you can see right there. So a lot more southern path for the CMC model here. And that would bring impacts to Puerto Rico, those U.S. Virgin Islands, seeing impacts from this model. It continues to strengthen. This is probably a Category 1 hurricane it's looking like around Monday, according to this model. And it's moving westward. Starting to move northward a little bit, but it's very near to those Bahamas. And the CMC model, as you can see, it has it very, very close to Florida. I mean, it has it right there, right next to the mainland US, according to the CMC model. So again, things can change, model runs can change, because we are still a week and a half out from this, even nearing the mainland US. We have seen models change in the past, especially for hurricanes. So definitely keep a close eye on this storm, because again, we can't rule out a U.S. impact right now, but overall the chances are looking high that it will be a fish storm heading out to sea, but those chances could change very quickly. Here's some of those spaghetti models of the GFS tracks for tropical storm Erin, and you have a lot of ensembles here that do curve out to sea about this amount of ensembles is curving out to sea, while you do have about 7 ensembles that do continue westward into the Bahamas, the Caribbean. So that's why you need to keep a very close eye on this storm, as we still do have models that do head into the Caribbean, potentially bring impacts to the mainland USA. Here is those model track guidance models. So more spaghetti models, but all of these do have it curving out to sea. Again, not a good look for Bermuda. According to these models, this would bring Bermuda a direct major hurricane impact. But those models zero out a chance for mainland impact. And then looking at model intensity guidance, it's pretty clear that this is probably going to become a major hurricane. As you can see, the majority of these models either reach a Cat 2 or Cat 3, with some even reaching Cat 4. Majority of those are pretty much confirming that this will become a major hurricane within the later stages of the storm. And I want to look at a couple more things. We're going to look at the shear in the Atlantic and the dry air. We're going to see, based on the path of where the storm is going, if you don't have those healthy conditions throughout the majority of this storm. And now looking at the dry air currently in the Atlantic Ocean, this is the Saharan air layer. So this is just showing you dry air from low to mid levels. As you know, now dry air is not good at all for hurricanes' health. So if a storm is in dry air, it's going to have a struggling time to strengthen. We do have some models that keep this as a low-end tropical storm before it gets near Puerto Rico, mainly because of the amount of dry air currently in the Atlantic. So here's Tropical Storm Erin, and here is all that dry air. This is going to be heading westward and right into that big-time dry air. And this dry air is looking pretty thick until it gets to right near those Lesser Antilles. So this dry air is definitely going to be much less dense in this area. So really not that favorable of conditions for dry air wise in this area for Tropical Storm Erin. And looking at current shear levels, this is a little confusing of a map, but here's the United States right here. There's Florida, there's Gulf of Mexico, and then here's Cuba right here. You've got the Dominican Republic and Haiti and Puerto Rico right there. But here's current shear levels. High shear is not good for hurricanes. You typically want a little bit of shear, but not zero shear here for hurricanes. And as of right now, it's looking pretty favorable. There's not much shear out there. Only a couple little blobs across the Atlantic, but it's looking pretty favorable for shear wise. Pretty much the only thing in the way of Tropical Storm Erin from developing into a hurricane sooner is because of that dry air that's going to be entering. But stay tuned for more updates. Again, can't rule out a U.S. impact right now. It's looking unlikely. The models will change. We've seen plenty of models change for hurricanes before last minute. So stay updated with Tropical Storm Erin. Subscribe to the channel so you won't miss an update on this hurricane season. Like the video and share this video with any friends or family. That might want the latest updates on Tropical Storm Erin or any future hurricanes this season. I'll be sure to answer any questions down below in the comments. But as always, I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.